Mariners win 6-1. They improved to 5-8 on the season, and they've salvaged the 3-game series against the Toronto Blue Jays, avoid their first sweep. Still looking for that first series win, but they do avoid the sweep. Go over the scoring plays. J.P. Crawford singles home Dylan Moore in the third. That makes it 1-0. Seventh inning, Vladdy Jr. The fact that that homer's only worth one run is maybe unfair, but it is, and thank goodness for the Seattle Mariners case. 1-1 at the end of the seventh. Mariners get their 10th inning on. Big number homers to right center to score Luke Raley. 3-1. Ty France doubles home Dom Canzone. 4-1. Mitch Haniger singles home 2. 6-1. Mariners hold the Blue Jays scoreless in the bottom of the 10th and get what feels like a necessary victory. As necessary a victory as you can have on April 11th, 2024. If there is such thing as a necessary victory on that day, that's one. The only negative here is that this offense was putrid for 9 innings. For 9 innings, this offense stunk. Again. They're not having any sort of effective offensive consistency, and a big part today was strikeouts. Julio, 4 Ks. Can't happen. Jorge Polanco for 5 with 3 Ks. Brandt strikes out twice. Haniger strikes out twice. Garver strikes out twice. I mean, you say Kikuchi was not bad, but he wasn't. The Mariners are making pitchers look better than they are. They're flailing at times, and it's very frustrating. I'm sure it's frustrating to them. It's probably way more frustrating to them. But goodness gracious, this offense. They put some stuff together in the 10th, which is great. It shouldn't have come to that. They shouldn't have needed to have an offensive explosion in the 10th. They have just got to start putting some quality at-bats together. Without solo homers, this offense would be, and that's like saying that somebody without being able to make 3-pointers would be a bad basketball player. Well, making 3-pointers is good. Making 3-pointers is good, and hitting homers is good. But you've got to have more consistent quality at bats. For 13 games, a 2-week stretch, nope. Very little of it. And then the only other negative, I guess, is Andre Munoz wasn't very good. He gets out of it, but didn't have great stuff and didn't have great command either. So, he's kind of alternated looking really good with not looking so good, which is okay early on. But again, there is a lot of pressure on Andre Munoz. They need him to be one of the best relievers in baseball. And so far this year, he hasn't been that. He has shown flashes of it. I have no doubt he can get to that. I have some doubts about whether he will be that. I have no doubts that he's going to be a very good pitcher. Even last year during his struggles, and no, this wasn't necessary. Even last year when he was going through things, he was still really good. But there is a huge amount of pressure on Andre Munoz. So he's got to pitch better. I think that's it for negatives. Let's talk about the biggest positive being Simply Seattle, the very best in Seattle sports gear. Awesome stuff for the Mariners, Seahawks, Kraken, Huskies, Storm, Sounders. You can find it all there. Enter code MOLLYWOP15 at checkout to save 15% off your order. MOLLYWHOP15. Would really appreciate you showing support for Simply Seattle and showing support for me by using that code. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. www.simplyseattle.com, and there is a link in the description. Okay. First, another positive I want to talk about. So the reason why this video is so late is as most of you know, from 12 to 3 was the guest host of the Ian Furness show, which was going on right as the Mariner game was happening, which, makes it difficult, but a fair trade-off for me because that's the funnest thing I've ever done. You can ask Jess and Anders, my producers. I had a smile pretty much throughout the day. I was just kidding. It's all I've ever wanted to do. All I've ever wanted to do is talk sports, and in particular, since I was a kid, I wanted to do it on KJR. So the chance to do that, and the fact that some of you sent some awfully nice messages while I was doing it too, oh, it means the world. Thank you so much. Like, truly, thank you. If there's ever anything I can do for you, please let me know, because it just means the world. I had such a blast. But so I did that from 12 to 3, then had some other stuff I had to do, and then I didn't get home until like 8, and I fell asleep at like 8:02, give or take. Woke up at 6 to watch the game. You're very welcome. Yeah, that was fun. So that was a big positive. The biggest positive from the game is Logan Gilbert was phenomenal. You know, it's some added phenomenability because Luis Castillo and George Kirby were bad in this series. Certainly not good enough. If they weren't bad, they weren't good enough. So you get your two top of the rotation arms have mediocre or worse starts, but Logan Gilbert didn't. And outside of 3 solo homers against Milwaukee, and I know, you can't take away those things. He's looked like the best pitcher on the Seattle Mariners by far. And there is no question what pitcher has shown the best stuff for the Seattle Mariners. Like, yeah, Bryce Miller's shown some really nice spin on his offerings. And some other guys doing things here and there. The best, most consistent stuff on the Seattle Mariners in 2024, not close, Logan Gilbert. Through 3 starts, there's a long way to go, blah, blah, blah. But through 3 starts, it's not even close. That splitter in particular on Wednesday was chef's kiss. Perfect. Command was solid. Scattered some hits, sure. But I was just floored, maybe not the right word, but just in awe of how well he pitched. Terrific. And needed. Because if he's not matching 0 for 0 with Kikuchi, or really 0 for 0. That home run by Vladdy Jr., of course. I mean, that was just scorched. But you take that away, and Logan Gilbert was pretty darn close to perfect. Really impressive outing, and an outing that they needed. Good job by Ryan Stanek. Helps that they gave him a 5-run cushion, but more than adequate enough to get the job done. Offensively, big dumper. I mean, yeah, it's been a slower start. And we're definitely talking start here with all of the hitters. But I just love the dude. I love Julio. And, I'm not even a little bit concerned. But if you ask me who my favorite Mariner is, I would say it's Big Dumper. There's just something about the guy. And sure, it certainly helps that he has the most clutch hit for the Seattle Mariners. And I know they would have made the postseason regardless, but like, that homer will live for me forever. Live for me, live with me, live in me. But there's something different about him. And boy, did they need that homer. Boy, did they need Big Dumper to do that. Do everything in your power to sign Cal Raleigh to a long-term extension, guys. He's not the best player on the Mariners, but there aren't many who are more important. Because the thing too with Raleigh, yeah, the robot umps are coming, and his framing, the value is going to get squeezed. He's such still a valuable player because of his throwing arm, because of his ability to block baseballs, and he clearly is somebody pitchers like throwing to. Thank you, Big Dumper. I just love the guy. Huge, huge fan. Any other offensive positives? No. Crawford gets on a couple times. That on base percentage is starting to slowly build back up. Still see a lot of scuffling. The double from France was great to see. After he played a pretty bad game, he should not be hitting third. I know. He's the one guy who the hits are falling for right now. Shouldn't be happening. Really don't like that decision, but work today to a point. I can feel the coughs coming, so we're going to end this one right now. Oh, one other quick thing. Terrific defensive play by Jorge Polanco in the 9th inning. We have to talk about that. That ball looked destined to fall in between second base and right field. And while Polanco is really scuffled everywhere, there's your biggest play as a Seattle Mariner. It's not even close. Showed excellent range and able to make a play that maybe he made look easier than was. Good for you. Really, really nice play. Big. Big is an understatement. The game's over. Doesn't catch that ball, the game is over. So kudos to him for making a defensive play. There have not been a lot of great ones so far in 2024, and we know there haven't been a lot of great at-bats, but there's a positive. Thank you so much for listening. Please hit like and subscribe. Friday, we have Bryce Miller against Jordan Wicks. Kind of a fun little young hurler matchup. Cubs are a tough one. I think the Cubs might be a little better than I thought. I haven't actually looked at what the record even is right now, but when I watch them play, they look like a decent little baseball team. Mariners need to start winning some series. Winning a game Wednesday is great, obviously. It's time to put some stuff together. Good chance to do that at home. And one last time, thank you again for everybody who listened and sent such nice messages on Wednesday. Hope I get to do it again some other time, but yeah. Good win. Good win.